So at Gamescom, we have recently just gotten so much fucking exciting news in the form of gameplay and a new trailer for Assassin's Creed Origins, and today, as always when a new trailer releases, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of this trailer. Now, I'm not going to do one of the cinematic trailer. If you want to see a breakdown of the cinematic trailer, I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's by someone else. There's plenty of people that have done one in the community, so if you guys want a breakdown of that, just go over to their video, because it's kind of too late for me to do it now. But I'm going to be doing a breakdown of this new Game of Power trailer. It's a really impressive trailer. I'd say it's the best trailer for Assassin's Creed Origins yet. And without further ado, let's go ahead and break this shit down. The first thing of note in this trailer is that Bayek is riding his horse indoors in this trailer, like he's inside a building. It's really weird. Well, I don't know if that's done specifically for the trailer, for dramatic effect, but why is Bayek on his horse inside? You've never been able to do that in Assassin's Creed before. Maybe you can ride your horse into buildings if they're big, if the buildings are big enough and your horse can ride in there. I don't know, but this is just something that caught my eye as soon as the trailer began.
Egypt is divided.
Anyway, at this point we can see Bayek doing a finisher on someone, but that's kind of not the main attraction of this screenshot here. As you can see in the background, there's fire all over the place, there's dead bodies, there seems to be debris in the background to the left over there, and this could signify some huge battle. Now, I don't know if this is something that happens in the story, which it most likely is, or this is a dynamic event that could happen when two groups of people come together and fight each other in the streets. It does look kind of cool. If this was some form of dynamic event, it would be awesome, but it's most likely a part of the story where like something fucked up's happening and there's fire all over the place and you have to save people. But yeah, it's quite an interesting shot nonetheless.
Vast armies amassed.
Now this shot here is really cool because the first time that we're able to get a good look at the warrior elephants with all the armor on. We've seen them in a previous trailer before, but it's literally up for a split second. So this is really cool that we get to actually look at them, and hopefully these would be rideable in the game. I'm pretty sure someone said they're rideable, but even if not, they're really fucking awesome. Just look how fucking cool they are. Big elephants with huge armor on. These are really cool. They're somewhat reminiscent of Lord of the Rings, but obviously these guys are actually used in real life. But hopefully we can use these against people in the game and, just smash people up with them, because they do look really fucking awesome.
Well, great leaders conspire.
Obviously, this is Julius Caesar and Cleopatra. It's signified by the narrator in the trailer saying when great leaders conspire. But it's really cool because now we actually get to get a good look at what they look like in the game. We saw them both in the cinematic trailer. This is what they look like in the game. I'm really excited to see how they play out in the story. I feel like this period of time is a really great time to set the game because it's so recognizable, like Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, characters like that are so famous in history, and people can really grasp onto those concepts pretty easily. I think it's just great to see such famous historical figures in an Assassin's Creed game. I just want to say, how fucking amazing does this shot look? Like, this game is beautiful. And all of these next clips, especially the one with the boat on the water, does look, they just looking super fucking crisp. They look really nice. So this here is Ptolemy. He was the ruler at the time of the game being set, and he's most likely going to be one of the main antagonists in the game, just because of how he's painted in the trailer to be the bad guy, but I don't think he's the top dog. He's not the guy that's pulling all the strings or anything. I feel like he's simply a puppet for those masked guys that we saw in the previous cinematic trailer, because those guys seem like they're little slippery buggers, and Bayek just can't defeat them. So I reckon this guy, because he's in a position of power, he is a puppet to those people. And, I still think he's going to do some evil shit in the game, but that's not because he would like to do it. That's because, there are people pulling the strings behind the curtain, and he's just a puppet.
Ptolemy, the boy king. He wants the entire region.
So there's a lot to talk about concerning this shot here. I know when you first look at it, you probably just think, oh, it's just showing one of the Colosseums that you can go to. It's one of the fighting arenas. But if you actually look at the area, it looks distinctively not Egypt. This is more of like Grecian architecture, as you can see around the area. There's nothing that even signifies this was built by Egyptians whatsoever. So this leads me to believe this is one of the more Greek areas of the map. And also, something was put onto the Access the Animus Twitter, which showed an area called Cyrene. Cyrene was an ancient Greek and Roman city near present-day Shahat, Libya, and it was the oldest and most important of the 5 Greek cities in the region, which means that There's Greek areas in this game too, and they also did say that the map does creep over to Libya slightly, so it makes sense that Cyrene is a place in the game, and this place here could just be another one of those Greek areas. I just felt like clearing it up that there are Greek cities in this game as well, which I think is really, really cool, because it shows the diversity and the changing world of Egypt at the time. Other than that, the only thing that's really relevant in this shot is the arena that I mentioned first. It's one of the larger arenas, and there'll probably be some cool bosses to defeat in there. So this shot here is pretty fucking significant.
Kept under heel.
If you ally with my system, I will kill every last Roman in Alexandria.
This bit here when Ptolemy is talking about killing every last Roman in Alexandria, it kind of shows he's the bad guy, you know, it's making it very clear he's going to kill lots of people, he's the bad guy, he's blackmailing Julius Caesar, trying to threaten him, and it paints him out to be the bad guy. But as I said earlier, I really think he's doing this out of fear, because there's people behind the curtain that are pulling the strings. This bit here also shows they're going very in depth with the whole struggling with the changing world of ancient Egypt, and how multiple different nations are getting involved, like the Romans and the Greeks and all that good stuff. So it kind of just shows they're going very in depth with that and not ignoring it. Well, I highly doubt they'd ignore it, simply because that's what the whole Assassin's Creed origin story is.
Last Roman in Alexandria.
These two clips here show the fact that NPCs go about their day and have a specific task that they do. They're kind of just doing what normal people would do. They're relaxing, they're working, and it just kind of emphasizes the fact that NPCs have their own agenda, you know. Ashraf Ismail's been going on about it a lot, and it's good to actually see it in action in the trailer here.
But he is a puppet. We do not know who pulls the strings.
There you go, that kind of confirms what I thought. That Ptolemy is a puppet. The masked people are obviously like ancient Templars. They're definitely not going to be called Templars, 100%, because Templars kind of comes from the Knights Templar and all that good stuff there. So they're definitely not going to be called the Templars at all. They're going to be a very, very early Templar, obviously. And these guys in the masks are definitely pulling the strings, controlling Ptolemy to get power, and that's what Templars have always done. They've always been in a position of power in one way or another. Now, I want to talk about this because I don't know what it is at all. Like, it looks like it's some form of tomb, yet with the sand billowing around it, it looks like it's outside during a sandstorm. It is really fucking ominous, and I really have no idea what it is. They're clearly statues, they have some form of flame, and they're lining something. I don't know what it is. It most likely is some form of tomb, because that's the type of thing that's in tombs, you know, like they're like torch sconces that are all decorative. However, it does look like it's outside, and you can also see a massive pile of sand in the background as well. You can barely see it, but you can see that it's like a hill of sand almost. I don't know what's going on here, but it's a very ominous shot nonetheless. The first time we get an actual good look at Cleopatra's character model in the game and what she looks like in game as well, and they've done a really good job of recreating her, because she believably looks like Cleopatra, and she's probably going to play an integral role in the story of the game.
The exiled queen Cleopatra thirsts for power.
We have informants in...
We could see Cleopatra and Bayek walking into the same room, which is quite interesting, which shows that she probably is going to be helping Bayek on his journey through Assassin's Creed Origins, but this is something that I find really strange. She's allies with Bayek in this game, however, we know that Amunet assassinates Cleopatra with a poisoned snake, Amunet being one of the famous Egyptian assassins that's in the Sanctuary in Assassin's Creed 2, which makes no sense. If Cleopatra is helping Bayek, the literal founder of the Brotherhood here, then why, like 20-30 years later, does Amunet decide to kill her? Like, what happens there? I want to know. Like, what the fuck is going on?
each region.
Across Egypt.
Now, I reckon this was the type of Anubis-based armor that was talked about in the original Game Informer magazine article, because as you can see here, this is most likely Bayek. I'm not going to say clearly, because we don't know who the fuck it is, but the guy with the Anubis mask on is most likely Bayek. Yeah, it does look really cool, because in the Game Informer article, it said how there was like a jackal hooded armor that you could wear in the game, and obviously this is clearly it. I reckon this could be one of the more rare armors in the game, kind of one of the special armors that you can get, and it does look really nice, I've got to say. There's something about it that just looks really cool. I initially thought that having a big dog on your head wouldn't look that great at all, but this does look really nice. Also, if we get a good look at his weapon and his armor here, you can kind of see the awesome shoulder pads, but that weapon looks fucking devastating. It's like some weird spiky Kopesh. does look really cool, and it just shows the diverse amount of weapons and armor that we're going to be able to use in the game.
Forces work against us.
She wields followers with lethal skill in pursuit of her throne.
Now this part here is kind of intriguing, where it talks about Cleopatra wielding her followers with lethal skill. Now, this could kind of answer my question earlier about why Amunet actually kills Cleopatra, because this insinuates that she is manipulating them and tricking them into following her, because actually when she gets her throne, that's all she cares about and doesn't care about the followers that helped her get up there. So maybe Bayek and all the people are being used by Cleopatra, and when Cleopatra gets to her power, gets to the throne, then Amunet has to end it. I don't know why Amunet has to do it and why Bayek can't do it. I don't fucking know. I really have no idea what's going on there. But I think Cleopatra is a bit more of an ominous character than we originally think she is, because she's helping us, and then she's actually just using us in the end.
Followers with lethal skill in pursuit of her throne.
It is time for assassinations.
So that's the first time that we hear the word assassination used properly in a sentence, and not only that, but you can also hear the kind of commanding tone in Cleopatra's voice. She sounds quite cold here, which is slightly odd, and also supports my previous statement about how she uses the people around her just to get power.
Caesar.
Obviously, this section is talking about Julius Caesar, and you can see here the power that he commands over his men. He's a very broad figure, you know, he's quite a powerful man, and this is reflected in, like, you know, the forces that he has command over, and he's a very military-oriented guy, and he's probably going to be the source of a lot of guards fighting us in this game. But if you look in the background of this shot here, you can see the red columns on this pantheon here. This shows that this is a more Rome-based area, because obviously earlier we had the Greek-looking area. This place looks very Roman because of the red colours, and it's got a pantheon there as well, and it's got statues all over the place, and his men are surrounding it. It definitely looks like a Rome area, like, so, not in Rome itself, but a Roman-based area in Egypt, which again shows the diversity of locations that are in Egypt at this time.
The legendary tactician, with the might of Rome at his back.
This bit here shows Roman soldiers doing the famous formation where they all get their shields in a line so they can protect each other, and it's kind of really cool because maybe this could signify better AI, because imagine if you were fighting a huge group of these guys and they put their shields together and were like menacingly walking towards you, because that's what they did. That's how they managed with a lot of the situations. They used tactics like that to survive, and I think it'd be cool if the AI of the game kind of worked together and switched things up to be able to defeat you, or like if it was in a huge battle and there were Roman soldiers, they used different tactics to be able to defend themselves. I think that'd be really cool, and it would show improved AI, but I highly doubt that, and I really think this is just part of a cutscene.
His true motives are unclear.
The whole part here is actually very exciting because it shows us that naval is definitely coming back like it was in Assassin's Creed 4. You have a whole crew of people, you see them ramming another ship, but obviously there's not going to be cannons in this game. If you look at one of the other clips, you can see arrows that are flying past, specifically fire arrows, which would mean that fire arrows was the main kind of way of fighting the enemy ship, as well as being able to ram them too, and using maneuvers to be able to get away out of their arrows as well. I think it's really interesting, and I cannot wait to see more of the naval in this game, because obviously naval in Black Flag was amazing, but this is going to be a completely different take on it because it's set thousands of years before the Black Flag naval combat. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with this, and this bit is just really awesome.
Together we can do more.
Alright, so this image here could show many different things. The first thing it could be is Caesar, Cleopatra, and Bayek. And Bayek just has a different hairstyle and a beard and a new outfit on. That could be one of the possibilities. Second possibility is that it could be Caesar, Cleopatra, and another character, a different assassin, which would show that Bayek has already established the Brotherhood halfway through the game, and there's more assassins that are helping him out. Or third, it could be a completely different assassin that we're playing as in the game, because they did mention multiple playable characters in the game for small amounts of time. Nothing like Syndicate, it's more like 1 or 2 missions you get to play as a different character, and that's what this could be right here, because this guy doesn't look like Bayek. He really doesn't. Maybe it's the beard, maybe it's the hair, but I don't know, his face to me doesn't look like Bayek whatsoever, and he's obviously wearing very assassin-style robes, so this image confuses me a lot. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I want to know what you guys think. Which one of the 3 options do you think it is? Tell me in the comment section below, because I really have no idea what's going on here.
More than Alexander did.
You will have his say before...
Now this fire here is a pretty significant fire. It's something that I can only imagine as being the Library of Alexandria being burnt down. Julius Caesar's there, Bayek standing next to him, there's fire everywhere. This could only be the Library of Alexandria being on fire. And, you know, it takes place very, very soon after the game begins. I'm pretty sure the Library of Alexandria was in, like, what, 48 BCE? And the game is set around that time, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was the Library of Alexandria being burnt down.
This war is over. Good, evil.
Alright, so this whole section here lets us see something that is very, very exciting. Something that we've never seen before in Assassin's Creed. These look to be huge scale battles. Maybe not like huge, like colossal, amazingly massive scale battles, but large battles nonetheless. Almost warlike scenarios. I've never seen this been done accurately in Assassin's Creed before, but as you can see, there's tons of guys running at each other with spears and swords and axes, and it looks fucking insane. Like, it looks amazing. There's like people slaughtering each other, and I can only guess this is one of the dynamic things that happens in the game, where 2 groups of people meet each other and they have a big fight. And the fact that it's a dynamic event in the game makes it even better, because it's not something that's scripted. It doesn't just happen because the game has, it doesn't have to happen. It happens across the map, even when you're not there, which is something that's so fucking cool. And the fact that they're such accurate, large-scale battles really, really makes me happy. They look fucking insanely nice.
These are phantasms of the desert.
Here we can see a new outfit. Now, it could be a new outfit, but hear me out, guys. This could possibly be another playable character in the game, because we've already seen this outfit before, and I want to know the significance of this outfit. In the screenshot before, we saw the same outfit with the same hood. Now, maybe it's just a coincidence that they like showing this armor off and this outfit off in the game, but I don't know, maybe there's some significance to the character that's wearing it, and it's their original robes. Either that, or I'm reading too far into it, and I just need to shut the fuck up, really.
Willpower is all that matters.
As we can see here, there's some form of chariot race going on. Now, I don't know if we can take part in these. I'm pretty sure it might have said somewhere that we can actually take part in chariot races of our own. But I don't know, maybe this is just a premise for a quest where you have to infiltrate a chariot race and use all of the crowd's confusion to be able to assassinate a target. Maybe, I don't know. But I guess with this new dynamic quest structure, there's no specific way of taking out a target, and that you don't have to do it anyway. So maybe chariot races are a thing that you can use, and it's just the target happens to be at that specific area. This bit here seems to be some form of throwback to Assassin's Creed Revelations, because at the beginning of AC Revelations, Ezio did the same thing that Bayek is doing right here, and he was kind of dangling on a chariot or on a horse and car, and he was being pulled along the ground. So I feel like this is some form of throwback, and you know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. This bit here lets us see a lot of new awesome gameplay from the arenas and the various different finishes you can do as Bayek, and these arenas look really awesome, especially I guess once you get further into the game. There's bigger arenas with harder enemies, and that only means more fun in the end, doesn't it really?
You may not be a king, Bayek, but history follows you.
This bit here, obviously there is a lot to talk about, but I just want to talk about that line, you may not be a king, Bayek, but history follows you, and that couldn't be more true, really, could it? Because obviously he's the founder of the Assassin Order. Altair, Ezio, Connor, Arno, Edward, all the assassins in the future follow what he created, which really, really is awesome, and that line gives me chills. Probably the image of most significance in this bit of the trailer is when Bayek and his wife are sharing a nice intimate kiss on a balcony of some sort. But if you look at his left hand, you can see he has all of his ring fingers, which obviously insinuates that this section of the game is set before he joins the Assassin Brotherhood or becomes an assassin and then creates the Brotherhood. And that's great because it means that we get to see his character before all of this shit affected his life. And we'll get to know him when he was happy with his family and his wife, and it'll make us like him more and attach to him more as a character overall. So I think this is a really good thing. So we get a glimpse at a really cool looking outfit as well, where it's like got some awesome patterns on the back. It looks like it's black. It looks really nice. There's loads of different armors and outfits in this game, and I cannot wait to see what they will look like. Here we get a glimpse of one of the larger bosses in the game, and I gotta say, this guy looks like a fucking badass. Like, imagine how fucking terrifying it's gonna be fighting this guy. I always love huge bosses, and it's great to hear that in the gladiator arenas there's gonna be big lads that we're going to get to fucking kill. Not only this, but there's also going to be the mystical bosses as well, like the snake we saw in the trailer, so there's definitely not going to be a shortage of bosses in this game. This section shows more naval, and as you can see, there's like weird glowing like arrows flying from ship to ship. I think this might be the fire arrows, but they do look very, very fucking bright, and I guess that's just there to show that you're doing damage to the other ship, or like it's to show that you're actually firing, because if there were like small little fire arrows, you might be able to miss them, and some people might not even know they fired. I don't know, they're just very, very bright, but it just kind of shows that fire arrows are the way of taking out other ships. This part again shows us a more Roman looking area, and as you can see in the background there's the lighthouse of Alexandria, and Alexandria is a very metropolitan type of city, so it would be more Roman in its architecture and in their statues that are surrounding it. So it's just kind of showing the various different areas that are in Assassin's Creed Origins and the diverse cities. This is probably the most fucking awesome part of the trailer, and that's probably why it was saved until the very end. You can see a huge load of Roman soldiers running towards Bayek, and Bayek has his sword out ready to fight them. This is fucking awesome. Imagine taking out all of those people and just having a huge full-scale battle. I don't think that Bayek is going to be able to take all these people out, simply because the combat in AC Origins does look really, really difficult. I imagine fighting all those people at once, but I definitely think Bayek has his own group of people standing behind him ready to fight these guys. This does look so cool, and this is what ancient Egypt is all about, you know, massive scale battles, huge fights, and just awesome shit like this, and I really cannot wait to see this in the game.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Alright guys, so that is the end of the video. That was a huge breakdown of the Assassin's Creed Origins trailer. There was a lot of stuff to talk about there, hence the length of this video. I would really appreciate it if you guys liked and subscribed for more gaming news and content in the future. There's so much stuff on Assassin's Creed Origins that's come out today. I'm gonna fucking die because I'm so stressed out about all the shit that I have to do. Also, if you haven't already, check out yesterday's video about Assassin's Creed Origins, my reaction to the trailer, and also I did another video about a new game that I think you guys would enjoy very much. I'm going to leave a link to it at the end of this video and in the description, and it would mean a lot to me if you guys could go check it out and see if we can get the video to 100 likes. And that's basically it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.